Welcome to Monday Night Live, the weekly training that guides professionals to financial prosperity. Join our community and let's start building your wealth.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Thank you. Okay. All right, guys. So obviously, as you all know, some of us went to the EXP Summit, and with all events, there is a lot of information, a lot of classes, a lot of breakouts that you can go to, and sometimes you can become very overwhelmed, and then also, not really knowing how to what to pick for your business sometimes, because all of it sounds so good. Obviously they always say whenever you go to any type of event that you just need to focus on two main parts of your business that you may need to have, either a tool, a system, an idea to be, inserted into that so that it either flows a little bit easier or so that it actually launches it, right? So in this case, just to kind of give you a backdrop for those of you that don't know who I am, hello. But I've been in the industry for 19 years, so I've done everything under the sun. I know out of these 19 years of things I do not like to do, and the things that I like to do. And so I'm really being very vigilant to actually stick to that, because you're never going to master everything. You need to just master one thing. And so, they always say that, jack of all trades and master of none. So, we really want to stay honed into what really gives us energy, what makes us be able to get excited about doing it. So then that way we have longevity associated with it. And then we're going to have consistency, right? Longevity, consistency, and hopefully that you'll have the reap some returns of that, which will then build leverage, and then you can build on other pillars of your business. So whenever I'm sitting down with agents, I will always let them know, what part of the real estate business do you actually like? Some people love to work with buyers. Some people love to work with just listings. Obviously, there's going to be different strategies to each one, depending if you're new. Usually everybody goes towards buyers. So like I had a call with Gary this morning. I'm like, Gary, I have like 50 million things going on in my brain on whatever angle I can do or provide here. I just know that whenever I go to a training, I want to have tools that I can actually lead with and have some sort of flow, kind of like a 1, 2, 3 that I can implement in my business. And so for me, samples I love, because if I can just replicate, love that. Don't want to recreate the wheel. And so I have a lot of different samples that I have done through Canva, everything from media to, postcards to all different types of things in Canva. And so I'll be happy to share those as you guys maybe, want them. Obviously, I only want to give you what you want. You don't need more junk in your mail or whatnot. So going to this event, so tonight you're going to have different samples of different stuff. So like I said, when I was thinking about tonight, right now I'm really in YouTube world. That's really where I'm at. I'm really into social media content, repurposing content, using that content for my sphere, for ads that I'm doing, are going to start back up doing. So I'm learning how to take one component and how to leverage it or repurpose what I'm doing to make my life easier. And I really want to encourage all of you to do that, to set up things that are going to set your life easier. So if you're not doing YouTube, that's fine. Don't do YouTube, but you do need to be committed to some sort of video content. So whether you become the lover of BombBomb within KD Core, wonderful. Become the lover of BombBomb inside KD Core. But seeing your face through Zoom, through video, is going to build that parasocial relationship. Parasocial relationship will make people feel like they already love you, like you, and know you before you even meet them. And the more that you give content, value, and come from contribution, the easier it is for you to have those conversations, nurture those leads, not feel awkward when you reach out to them, and be able to give them something that will help them. So I will get off that soapbox box, and we will just dive in. Going to EXP Summit, I went with the idea of wanting to maybe get some systems that will help me with my long form content that I'm doing in my YouTube page, And then also wanting to do more mailers with a multifaceted approach. And so for me, I knew that would be, I want the networking with vendors. And I wanted to be able to begin working, like I mentioned before in a previous call, a launch with new construction, because it already tailors what I already have. So to get a show of hands, everybody, I need to know, and I need you guys to actually do this with the your automation down below. I need you guys to raise your hands as far as whether you are doing YouTube on a consistent basis, or are making videos that you are then having put into your business page. So raise of hands of who's doing that. No, you have, Andre, you're supposed to raise your hand down below.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Is that everybody? We only just have this one page, right? We don't have multiple pages. Okay. All right. So really, there's only 5 of you out of everybody in here. And when I mean, honestly, when I was praying about this, because I'm like, Lord, I have a lot of stuff in my brain and I can spew out like a fire hose. But when I was really praying, I really felt like a lot of you aren't in this, and I really wanted it to be pertinent to you, or to a good majority of you, as well as a sprinkle for those of you guys that are doing video to also have that advantage as well. So
Hey,
thank you
Shastine,
guys.
just a quick observation. I want everybody to look, the people that raised their hands were Dan Hilsman, Andre LaFountain, Lisa Sears, Anna Galumian, all top performers. Two directly on the team, Lisa and Anna, and Andre and Dan are just two layers above us, and 5 layers above us. And they're at the top of the game at EXP.
Yeah. You know,
Yep.
but the point to, or I guess an important point to make to that, Gary, is the fact, I think the number one issue that we have as agents is the leverage component. I mean, we wear 5, 10 hats, it feels like. And so knowing how to implement something like video can be very, very overwhelming. My husband was telling me in 2020, babe, there's something on YouTube. I'm just telling you right now, you better get on YouTube. And I'm like, I don't know what that looks like. Because for me, that was overwhelm. And until I learned to embrace overwhelm, because it meant that I was growing and learning. And if I'm growing and learning, I'm only going to excel and get better. And so, but yet I needed a coach for me to take me there. Now, obviously, guys, we have coaches within our own network, you know, whether it is within, you know, the leverage relationships that Andre has or Gary has, or even within Honey Badgers as a whole. There are such a vast number of people that we can connect into to get the leverage that we want. And so don't let that stop you. And so tonight I want to touch on how you can create maybe 1 or 2 pieces that is a video content, and then repurpose it to put it into an automation. So then that way you guys will be able to be kept top of mind, and you'll be able to, you know, be remembered when people either are going to be selling their home again or referring, you know, family members to you, or more importantly, as a item of value that you're going to give out to people who you might be paying paper or direct mail postcards to. It's always about, you know, giving something from contribution. It makes the follow-up call a lot easier if you're just calling up and saying, hey, I sent you a mailer. Did you get it? Great. You know, by the way, is there anything that I can help you with right now? And with that, you'll be able to, you know, have that warm call instead of that really awkward call. I'm sure we've all made the really awkward call. Hi, this is Shastine. How are you doing? Just, you know, want to check in on you, you know, awkward silence. Yeah, fine. We're doing fine. Okay. And you're like, how am I going to keep this conversation going? Okay, maybe I'm the only one. I don't know. But I felt awkward on the other end. And so, you know, I just find if I call with one topic in mind and call through my sphere and come from contribution, the conversation's a lot easier. And a lot of times they'll ask you how your business is. And at that time, that's when you begin to not say, doing great, but say, actually, I'm looking for more sellers right now because right now my listing inventory is really low. Is there anybody that has been talking about selling real estate that you might know? And then they might say no. And then you go on with, really? Well, what about like at school or at the school that you take your kids to? No, I don't think so. Okay. All right. Yeah. Oh, well, what about your neighbor? Have you had any neighbor conversations? No. Sometimes if you get to dig a little deeper to 2 or 3 levels is what I call it. It's in those conversations that you'll peak like, oh, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, and sometimes it may be that after the 3rd suggestion that then you just end with, well, thank you so much for taking the time to think about that. I so appreciate it. And as you well know, my business is built on referral, and I would not be who I am today or in the industry as long as I've been today without your referrals. So again, thank you so much. I just cherish our relationship, and I always want to come from contribution. So, if there's anything that you need, whether it's real estate related or not, please reach out to me. See, it's very natural when you come from contribution. So let's give some things for contribution that you guys can implement in your business. And I'm going to share my screen, and going back to the EXP Summit, there were some highlights that I took from that I want to give to you guys as ideas, and that maybe you guys can take and utilize in your business. The number one thing that I wanted to utilize was vendors and networking. And so I haven't done networking in probably 10, 12 years. And so I wanted to create a networking group of fellow vendors. And my mindset goes, okay, it's not just a networking event that, oh my God, I have to spend every single week an hour and a half with these people. What am I going to say? Actually, again, going to EXP Summit, I learned about ROI Expert Advisors, which is a great program. They have like a one-time fee. It was like $300, but I get it back. And actually, they're going to give me $1,000 by having, a certain number of vendors by September 1st, which is easy peasy. I already had 8 vendors. I did a nighttime mixer, invited them over, and we had 8 people sign up as vendors, and now I'm encouraging them, and they're bringing people. We've had one daytime networking event, but still, even with that, guys, and this is how my brain thinks, and this is how I want you guys to shift and think for you. So what I am doing with that is that I am building. Let me go to all my goodies before I share my screen, so then that way you don't see like things maybe you don't want to see. In meeting with them, I told them that I would be, okay, now I can do this. Always coming from contribution. I told them that I would be host disabled participant screen sharing. I did host. Host disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, yeah.
Me on lockdown.
Yeah, be fine. Sometimes these are alphabetical and sometimes they're not.
Anyway, when I got together with the vendors, so my big vision is this, and whether you do it with networking, whether you do it with new construction, I have two, whether you want to call them funnels, there's little things that people say these days, little, lingo that's going out there. But really, you're taking people down a trail, which narrows it down to getting business for them to want to contact you. And it starts out wide of your funnel. So did you share with me now?
Yep.
Okay. So with sharing with my vendors, when I got with them, so my full vision was that I would create, like I told them, I said, listen, we're coming from contribution here. My job is to be able to promote, I refer you guys all the time, but now I'm only going to be one vendor specific. Whoever's part of my vendor networking program, I'm not tied to them, so they can be removed at any time if the service of the lead is not quality. The service to, my clients are not quality. And then, it'll be no skin off my nose that way. But what I told them is that we are going to be working together, which means doing direct mailing. I showed them how the vendor list I have my updated one, but this one I pulled. I'll show you, I didn't know if I should show you in Canva, so I'll send you the one I have in Canva. This is just an older one that I had, but gosh darn, how does this work? I'm trying to show you guys so that I can move over here. Okay, there we go. I have you at the top now. So what I told them is, this is the thing, is we are going to, any of you guys, whether you guys pick, this is all about touching your database, right? So in touching your database, you want to be able to offer items of value. So what do people, after they sell it, after you buy it, sell them their home, what do they need you for another 5 to 7 years? Or 3 years. They don't need you for anything. So the best way to keep in contact with them is through offering or making them aware of other people, right? So what if you guys got your vendor network, you got a list of vendors. I know for me, that is the painters, roofers, gutters, landscaping, that is estate sales, that is stagers, because sometimes our painters or roofers, or, everybody that may be involved with that. And you put them into something that you send as a mailer. What we did also, let me see if I can flip through here. There we go. So like whether you send out a card and you call it the VIP, because sometimes this is an idea that we have, is calling a VIP discount card for our vendors, so that these are all mailers, guys. And these are all things that you can have your vendors begin to pitch in with you, so that there's not even a fraction of a cost associated with it. And all that you're doing is you're getting each and every one of them to contribute a certain dollar amount for a marketing piece every single week. And every single week, or whether you want to do it twice a week, doesn't matter, want to do it once a month, doesn't matter. But when you begin to leverage your resources with other people, that not only promotes them, but promotes you, then that is going to only give that reciprocity, law, that if you help enough people get what they want, they're going to give you what you want, because we're all helping to build one another. So when I did this mixer launch, I told them, I want to be able to promote you guys. And so then that way, I know that you're naturally going to remember me when you're out on the job. I want us to learn how to have referral language when we are out with our clients or doing a job anywhere. And so these are some of the ideas that I'm giving to you, and I'll change from the vendor. So just bear with me. Don't shut down your ears. I just want to give you an example from vendors, and then I'll give you another example. Okay. But I want to be thorough. So this was one idea. We're going to send out a card just saying, and this would have been based off of, instead of it being 10 or 25s, because sometimes you may have restaurants, you may have massage therapists, you may have all different kinds of people, right? Sometimes it will be a vendor of the month. If you need your roof and gutters cleaned for summer, just in time after fall or whatever, then there's going to be a 20% discount. Use this link. The link can tie then to your page to make sure that they have updated information from them. And then that way it's a touch point. Then what can you do? You can call them on that next month. Hey, did you use the vendor card? Did you find that helpful? Is there something else that maybe you need for your home? And then your calls all year round are like super easy peasy. You can leave video voice drops. You can do bomb video drops. Just saying, hey, we sent out our card. I want to make sure that you got it. It's really important to me that you know that I care about, not just about the transaction, about your home and your livelihood, because that's where you're building memories. And so just want to check in. Did you get the card? You guys can do this automation in KB Core, in which Gary did a quick, wonderful little teaching on not too long back on automations and different things that KB Core has, that you can build these things in there, that it's just a drop and it's a play for each and every month, because you're meeting with your vendors every single week. You're coming up with ideas. They're talking about successes in the vendor thing. Here's the ROI. Just like, if you guys want to know like how to run a meeting, and then those of you who want to do a meeting, this, you want to know how to spend an hour? Because that was I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to teach for an hour every single week. Like, there's many different vendors. What am I going to do? No, you're not teaching. Yay. You spend 10 minutes opening up. You do a welcome with, of the key leaders, and then new partners, and then visitors for 3 minutes. They had a video lesson, but you don't do a video lesson. You're going to do an intro of new partners that came in. So you're going to allow them to give an intro about themselves. You're going to have two partners give a weekly, give a 3 to 5 minute value proposition that they might be running that month. And then you're going to have a key featured speaker for 10 minutes. And then you're going to talk about win reports, which is the most key thing that I was never taught when I was in business to business or part of the, the Clark County Association of, here, networking group. They never talked about that, where you are saying, hey, every single week we take down a card. If they gave a referral to the lender, gave a referral to the painter, that information is taken down. But more importantly, then we have a report back. And we actually keep a Google sheet that says this referral was given out and this is how much money it made them. Because what does that do? That builds that like excitement, like, oh my gosh, like the painter just got 3 deals. Okay, I'm going to stay put. This is something of value for me because they're actually working to get me business. And so when I sat down with my mixer, I'm like, hey guys, I didn't do business to business because I don't want the corporate BS, bologna sandwich. I just don't want it. So I want to have a ribeye stack sub sandwich here. And so with that, that means we're going to do things differently. We are going to, and then I built in on how it would be a referral to them. All of them jumped on, all of them were excited, and all of them are inviting other vendors. And in looking at this doesn't intimidate anybody, does it? Like when it's set up this way? No, it didn't intimidate me. So then I'm like, okay, this is good for me. This removes my overwhelm. This makes it so that I can do this. And how much more if we want to implement this, if we were going to move into maybe other things of meetings, whether, just pick it, women's meeting, women's wine and cheese weekly. You just form your own group, of small businesses of women or something, it could be whatever you want. It doesn't have to be, but my vision with this is that I would take this with these vendors. We would create mailers. We would then do social media posts. I did have a sample, but I didn't want to go show every single thing. Just giving the highlights. Hey, this is the roofer. And then telling them, hey, you guys need to do before and after photos. And then I'll highlight you on my business page. I'll highlight you on my personal page. People want to see things that will be value to them. All I'm doing is promoting somebody else, but then I'm being remembered because I'm giving them something that they're going to need besides just, hey, if you ever think about buying, selling, or selling real estate or investing in real estate, will you think of me? Instead of having that script, they already know I'm a realtor and I'm already active with them in their home. So, and so that was the vision with the vendors, is doing that. And then also I encourage them that I can go knock on doors in my neighborhood. Because again, if I'm knocking on doors, then I'm going to be able to remind them I'm a realtor in your neighborhood. Just wanted to let you know I have a great vendor network, and I know you already bought your house. However, every home needs maintenance. And so I just thought I just bring awareness and bring it out, how is your home doing? And then you're just building a relationship with those in your community or the community that you want to farm in. And then when they scan the QR codes, because you can put a QR code on there, which the QR code is going to be as part of a link tree, so that it then has a connection in with the vendors. I'd like to get an app that does that, but I haven't found one. Meet app, I don't like it. So if any of you guys have one that's a little bit better, let me know. But that's the only way that so far as we're beginning to brainstorm as a group, which is really awesome. This is just one of the components. So then if they're scanning it, then we know from what source it came from. It had to have come from a marketing piece, right? That we're sending out, prospecting outward. And so we're building value to our vendors. Our vendors will then give referrals to us because we're promoting their business. We're sending it to our past clients, right? So we're taking one thing and we are repurposing it. We're then sending it out to our past clients. We're able to use that as a touch point. Then more importantly, we're able to do those twice a year vendor events, because who's going to help with those vendor events? The vendors that you're having weekly meetings with. And if everybody gives a little, it's not a lot. And then you're able to build attraction and build a whole program of sending out the evites, having them do signups, doing, so do you see how it can ripple down into something effective for your business?
Yep.
I'm excited. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I like that.
So anyway, so this was just the vendor. Obviously, you guys, there's different things that you can send out to your sphere. I am very big on giving them things that are helpful to them. And some of the things that I had received, and I don't know if I can do some of my videos. I'll get into my video portion here next. Let me stop sharing for a moment.
People love checklists too, you know?
Yeah.
Checklists are always good.
Yeah, exactly. But some of the things that that were provided during the launch, at EXP conference, and I'm just going to give you a few touch points of my notes that were my highlight that I felt really served what I went back and tried and I'm implementing into my business. So in implementing to my business, they talked about that your content is king. Obviously, we always hear that, but then we're like, okay, content is king. What does that look like? For me, that looks like items of value, right? Because you're not going to throw away something that may be of value to you. They're not going to open up an email unless it's funny, humorous, or it's something that it's a gift for them. You know, here's your free Starbucks card, whatever. And then doing fun games and stuff through your social media, things like that. But they talked about, so for me, my content was king by building an announcement of the vendor program, offering incentives through my vendor program, sharing the vendor list through that, either that brochure, and also sharing the vendor list through posts of their before and after photos, and then putting in postcards as well, before and after, or putting in postcards their stories, and then announcing new vendors when they come into the program, or besides just their incentives, you know, so we'd also do one if they're doing an incentive for that week, right? And then doing the in-person events. So when I took this idea, that's when I went and I built out what it looked like, because you have to be very specific, and then build out how you're going to utilize that one thing. When they talked about engage with posts, they said on your Instagram and on your Facebook, they said you should only be a max of 2 clicks away. You shouldn't have multiple clicks. A lot of agents will have a link tree because it's one click, and within that link tree, it will connect into all of their different social media platforms to their websites. And, you know, if you have a landing page set in there, I mean, a link tree, you can have any number of links in there. But here's ideas for engaging with posts for those of you guys that want to engage in posts. And that would be, they talked about new construction deal of the week. And they talked about putting 2 listings up every single week, whether that's a listing that you're showing to a buyer, if you're just doing a quick buyer tour, that you would actually use that. They talked about, which I love this, they talked about doing answer and post, answering questions. So let me try to share this here. So that would be like this. How this works? I don't know. You guys see it? Not yet. Okay. So in here, this was just a question and answer. This was really easy to make. I made it in Canva. Okay. So I told a story. And then it went into, what is your favorite real estate mentor and coach? And so, yeah. And so she was one of the coaches that I've had. And so the whole point of this video was to let them know a little bit about me, right? Like I do coaching, and then the other one was about solving a problem for who? Was I bragging about myself? No, I wasn't bragging about myself, because nobody wants to hear you brag about you. You know, they want to hear a story of how you might have solved a problem. Stories are memorable. Stories paint pictures in our imagination, therefore they imprint and remain. And so it's not a happy face. Anyway, so you'll do things like this, or you'll do things like if you're going to do anything that has to do with giving education videos. Now, whether you guys you can sit in a chair and talk. That's fine. I think, Gary, didn't you talk about opus.com on one of yours?
Opus, I don't recall that.
Okay. Well, opus.com is a free, it is an absolutely free program. Let's see here, that you can, well, free for like, you know, the first long form content or whatever. It'll break up a video and actually add all of the stuff into it. So what I did, if you, let me go, if I go to my, actually this YouTube, I'll just take you guys to my YouTube. I already have it up because I was going to give an example on it.
Okay.
Anyway. So what they were talking about is giving educational videos. And like I said, this is just me sitting in a chair, you know, and it's, you know, when to write an offer, right? I mean, these things were like, why do they need to know when to write an offer? The whole idea is to get them off the couch. If they were toying with the idea of, so you're buying your first home, or maybe it's been 20 years, right? So, you know, so home buying process. Okay, so video might be difficult here. But you guys can go into my YouTube channel, Vancouver, Washington Living. You guys, this stuff, making the videos, you're going to see 11 steps to home buying. That can be, all you have to do is like write down what's the steps that to a home buying process, right? They need to get pre-approved, right? Then you, I mean, you can go there and watch my video and just take the content out of it. It doesn't matter. 10 commandments of buying a home, same thing. These are all educational videos. But what I did is I taking stuff and I'm repurposing it. I'm not just leaving it on my Facebook page or on my Instagram page. I'm actually putting it into my automations within KV Core. Now, what you have to do though, is because the link will break, or it has been known to break if you try to do it from YouTube into KV Core and have it sit there for, you know, and have it try to do as a constant run. For some reason, it doesn't seem to link that well and the links will break. However, if you take your video, connect it into BombBomb, run through Bomb, and then BombBomb's already integrated into KV Core, then of course, the link won't break. And so like when you go into, so maybe I can't pull it up. But what I did is we created an email that just has my template down on it. And this is where I'll go into a little bit about new construction. Should I answer? Has there been any questions? Because I sometimes go off. Okay. So
Kathy was asking if you're using Canva to create the checklist. Okay. Yeah. So, and actually, and I've also, of course, used Chat GPT when I'm like, how should this checklist look? You know, because sometimes I have a lot of things in my brain. And so, you know, I'll need to kind of have somebody else sort it out for me or look at it so that so I'll say, give me 10 other ideas to, you go to Chat GPT, give me, 10 reasons why a person should buy a home. And they'll give you 10 reasons. And then you can take that and then you can put it into Canva and then you can make it pretty so that it's an actual piece that goes out like the one on the moving tip, or excuse me, on the road trip, if you're making a road trip. But you guys, you have to remember, not everything that people want to get regarding their home. So that's why, like the other items that I have used, let's see if I don't know if it will come up or not here. I think my link, it's making me down. I had it up here. Let me see if I get my other one up for you guys here that I had ready for you. That one. Yeah, because it's making me download now. Obviously here. Like for instance, if you guys are actually, maybe I can just take you on my Canva. I'm going to show you my Canva. It's a hot mess, but please forgive. That's okay.
Well,
And
I mean, it's
Dan-
not hot. It makes sense to me, but you know, when you guys see it, it might be something.
And Dan Hilson was asking the name of your YouTube channel.
Oh, Vancouver, Washington Living.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Yep. Vancouver, Washington Living. And so like this, you guys, you have to do this. I can send you this if you just want to change it up and send it. It's so easy peasy for Canva. I love Canva. Canva you can share with people so easy, and then they can make it their own. It's a little bit slow, isn't it? What do you guys see on your end? Nothing? Do you guys see it?
There we go. March events, Vancouver, Washington.
Okay. Yeah. So like I will send this by email as well as by, you know, if I was going to send it by a postcard, because not everybody does. Not everybody looks at their emails. Not everybody's on Facebook or Instagram, you know, although you could put it in those things and you should put it in those things. But depending on however you guys do your business, because all of us do it differently. Some of you guys may not even touch that stuff. But these days, people go to your digital business cards, which is Facebook and Instagram. That's just where they go. I know that's where I go. Anytime I'm looking up anybody that says they're a realtor, the first places I go to is YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. And I'm like, and I get, and perception is reality. Perception is reality. So if you're not posting in there, I go in these heat waves. I'm really good, not good, really good, not good. And so, so I have to preach to myself as well. I'm not perfect. God help me. So, but this is one of the things that is really good because you can what is this? This is what's in it for them, right? And you can find these things on your city website. You can find them on like if you're certain, you know, county websites, certain even the Facebook group pages of your city, of your counties, about events that are going on. And then you can just build something out in Google events and see, and all you're doing is you're just compiling information like a news reporter and you're sending it out. But this is just one thing that we do as far as just like an item of value piece. It's be great. You can't build out 6 at a time, obviously, because they're month to month, but it'd be great if you could. But the other thing that we do is we are, so we're building things. How many of you guys, still send out postcards? By a raise of hands. Anybody doing that right now?
Kathy does. Kathy Eric.
Sometimes.
Oh. Yeah.
I know. I'm not. I don't know about nobody saying no. Okay.
Yeah.
So nobody's doing it. That's fine.
And Melanie was asking the 3 you mentioned were YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, does she? Okay. Then we need to have a discipline course done by you.
Guys, for postcards.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say something, Gary?
Yep. Melanie was just wanting to confirm Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram were the 3 that you mentioned.
Oh my gosh, I can't hear you.
I think we lost her.
I'm sorry. Totally lost you. Let me see if
she did say YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Those what she looks for when she looks up a real estate agent. And it looks like Anna raised her hand too, as far as sending postcards.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, hi everyone. I was just gonna say KV Core just did an integration with Thanks.io that makes life so much easier. If you have your KV Core integration, you can actually go into the Thanks.io plugin in the marketplace and send postcards that way directly to your database without uploading any of your database or any of your contacts. You could even do gift cards for their birthdays, anniversaries for the home closing. They have campaigns for expireds. They have campaigns for whole bunch of different things. I believe they even have foreclosure campaigns as well, like distressed property campaigns. It's pretty cool.
Where is that again?
It's on the KV Core Marketplace. They just integrated, I believe it was called API Postcards or something, the name that's under KV Core Marketplace. So if you go onto KV Core, click on the three lines on the top left, it will actually open up the menu on the left side and click on marketing and marketplace. I'm sorry. Under marketplace, you'll find something that says something postcard. I believe API postcards or something like that. But when you click on it, it actually routes you to Thanks.io, which was a postcard company that just recently integrated with KV Core to totally streamline the process for you. So you could actually send postcards to like specific hashtags. You can put in people in different campaigns. You can have Thanks.io send gift cards even to people. And they have two different packages. They have one for wholesale price for the postcards. If you sign up to their monthly membership, or if you want to do pay per postcard, they have a pay per postcard feature as well. So those are really handy.
Thanks, Anna.
Of course.
Okay. Look, I wonder if Shastine lost her connection.
I think so. I don't see her.
Okay, let's give
Hey,
her a minute to
Gary?
get back on. Yeah.
I want to mention I have a guest on tonight.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Who's
Emma.
your guest?
Emma, you.
Oh, Emma. Hey, Emma. But she I know I saw her name. Oh, let me she didn't do the when we promote him, she didn't
Yeah,
accept Hannah.
she declined to be promoted, so
I'm gonna
I
click
can try
on
to
allow.
promote her again, see if she'll come on, but
Yeah, it's okay. So I'm gonna click on that allow to talk.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Sorry, I wasn't sure if I should stay an attendee or a participant since I'm brand new, but
No, we let you participate. You just leave the $1 million deposit at the end, and then you'll be okay. No, just kidding. So you're very welcome. We always have a couple guests on every Monday, and it's we appreciate that.
yeah, and I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for letting me join.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Hey, Gary, it looks like Shastine is coming back
Hello,
in.
Shastine.
Dutch has a question.
Awesome. Sorry. Yeah, everything froze. Sorry.
But that's okay. You know what, Shastine? See if you have other sessions going on, other programs running or browser sessions.
Well, I think I just had so many things up to try to, to show video. And that's what I was worried about, is the video, trying to have too many windows up to show you guys things. I think, like I said, I feel like I'm just paper spraying everything out here. And because sometimes like I said, I have a lot of things, and I really feel like maybe I need to slow down for a minute. And of course, obviously answer questions. But like I did say, and I think it was repeated correctly, people now will go to social media platforms to find out who you are before they ever engage with you. And, especially now, on YouTube with the content that I repurpose into other things. I now have agents that reach out to me because of my YouTube channel, because if they don't know another agent, or if they're already doing YouTube, fellow YouTube agents will reach out to other YouTube agents, because then they feel like they really are a community market leader. They are somebody that really knows the area. And if their clients are relocating, it's going to mean a sure meal deal paycheck to them as a referral, by having an agent that's not only knowledgeable, but also, gives great service and also knows the area. So it's, definitely helped with referrals from other agents, especially when I let them know the additional things that I do. Then that helps them to really give a warmer lead and to me from, their side of the state. So
Okay.
social media is it. So anyway, so part of the highlights for those of you, like I said, so nobody does social media except for about 5 of us, or nobody just does video except for 5 of us.
Think so, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Video.
So maybe I need to ask, so maybe I need to shift it a little bit, because I gained a lot of great notes and ideas, and you always will in the summits or in the EXP conferences or any other trainings for that matter. You can go on to excellent trainings through EXP World or through some of the workplace groups and hear wonderful little nuggets that will help. I know, I believe Lisa Sears was telling me about some things that she's been implementing and learning and taking special classes on. And I'm like, girl, you need to share that. But I know that sometimes we want to feel like we have those things in place before we kind of, try to explain it to others.
Shastine,
Gary.
this is Bonetta. I have a question for you.
Yes, go ahead.
So you said you use Canva, and did you say something about a frame? Something you said it was easy to change. I didn't get that. Something about on Canva.
It's easy to share. So it's easy to share. So like, for instance, if you wanted to see some of the things that I use for Canva, then that would be easier because all I have to do is plug in an email or even share a link. I don't know if I've ever shared a link in here, but through chat before. I know I've seen other agents do it. I never become an expert until you have to actually apply it, right? So, but like for instance, if you guys aren't doing monthly market updates, whether it is just a Rolodex type of monthly market update, I know that, we have one that we do. That looks kind of like this. And then, like I said, it's really easy to share. It's very, very, again, I had an agent that I had a relationship with just share it with me. And then I changed it up a little bit, because you can change it with colors. You can change it with, it's easy to change your brand. But for those of you that do want to maybe utilize that, I can just share it with you so you can see what it looks like because I have it up here.
Okay.
So this we put into when I remember to put sometimes I get off on trying to build other things and then I don't stay consistent on others. But this is the Southwest Washington Market Report. It is an automation. So this actually, okay, it hasn't come up yet. Thank you. My computer's slow. Too many things up. Well, I mean, I have my Zoom up. I can get rid of my YouTube page.
There it is.
Okay. So this is all automation that moves. So all of these things will come and flow as it goes across your screen, and then you can break it up by areas. So we had it broken up by medium list price, medium days on market, by the actual areas, and then it just plays. It's a video. You can even get more detailed with single family, and all of this can be, you can do it with a swipe. All of this can be put into, if you guys go to my Facebook page, Bredlie and Associates, they were putting there, maybe my Instagram, putting there, Instagram page as well, Bredlie and Associates. Then, the past ones that I've done were in there. I didn't do one for last month. And this one, I don't think was finalized by my, I have a new VA that I'm implementing to do some of this little side stuff since I'm trying to
have a
focus.
copy of this.
Is it Bonita?
No, it's Bonetta.
Bonetta. Okay. Yeah. See if I can put it in the chat link. But these are just things that whether you post them up monthly or not, you can break them up by single family. The next week you can say, here's what's going on with single family. The next week, here's quarter one, here's quarter two. If you wanted, to break it up by quarters as well. If anybody knows how to actually, let me see here. if I was to share, can I just share it as a link? You only link. I can copy a link.
Can you copy at the top of the address page in the address?
Anyone with this link, right?
The
So
link.
just that link. But I want to make sure that do you guys?
Thanks, Andre.
What did Andre say?
He has to take off. He wants me to take over, making sure people are logging. So yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Great job, Shastine.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
This is good stuff.
I can do a view only. Well, Vanetta, let me see. I mean, I don't know quite how to put it.
I'll reach out to you. I can reach out to you.
You should be able to take the link there where the view only link, because now everybody, it says anybody who has this link, and then copy that link into the chat.
Okay. I just don't know if it will let you just view it only and not be able to edit it to use it. Oh, well, actually it says can edit. Yeah. So so I did put it in there. I don't know if you guys can try it out, but
it is being viewed as a video.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what else we can do too, Shastine, is if you don't mind, afterwards, send Beverly an email with anything you wanted to share, like links and attachments, and she'll embed it in tomorrow's email that has the recording and everything else,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I just want to make sure that, because I think normally you can share a copy of it, but I know sometimes you have to really watch it, because with Canva, if you share a direct link for that into your Canva page, then when people do modifications, it'll do a modification to yours. So, so there's like a little something that you have to do, and I just want to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. But whenever I get a link shared with me, I always make a copy of that link and just keep the original, just in case I want to go back to the original and I forgot what it kind of looked like. That's just a helpful tip that I've done in the past. But specifically for you guys, was there other things that I wanted to show you the seller's guide packet. How many of you guys have a seller's guide yet?
Having a seller's guide and a buyer's guide, and they're easy to do, guys. In fact, on the website, the team website, there's one of each that part of the public domain that anybody can take and edit and repurpose to be your own. You can put your name on it, your picture, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. Well, so what I was talking about with my my team was, you guys can take like any buyer's guide and take out certain pages within the guide. And this guide, guys, I just bought off of Etsy. I mean, there's some guides that are just like so wonderful. Why create the wheel? So all I have to do is put in my pretty stuff, which I absolutely love because I love pretty. But what I was telling him is, when you guys are building out your automations in KV Core, or maybe you just want to do a one-off, if you create an email that has this page already linked into it, then I mean, it's just really cute stuff. But anyway, like you could go in and just do these pages, right? From listed to sold. And you could just send this as like a, what they call a hook in any type of your emails that are going out to maybe some of your ads that you're doing, or maybe people that are coming in, or maybe just a touch item, from after you go into a listing appointment. Hey, just wanted you to know, we talked about a lot of information. Here's just a cute little kind of summary of what what our meeting is going to be like tonight, however you want to do it, before or after. But then you can cut this up and then kind of just use certain pages, pricing to sell your home, so that you're doing a pre-listing packet by email, and then you're calling with follow-up, comparable properties. Or you could just take this out and build this as a back end to one of your flyers on one of your other properties, right? I mean, because they always teach you that you should have your main listing on one side, and on the other side, you do other properties that are for sale or of your listings. Now, and you have to, of course, set it up with your sellers to let them know, hey, listen, I do flyers and I do have other listings on the back end of that. And the reason why I do that is because if I've learned how to leverage other inventory to know about your property, because a lot of times your property will be eliminated because my clients, buyers think they don't want to be in your area. However, if they see your photo, they click your link and they see your home. I've had a lot of people end up moving into areas they said that they wouldn't move into because that home ended up being their dream home. So if you set it up that way, then you can get dual marketing anywhere if you have several different listings, anywhere. Or if you're going to put this up at different restaurants or a different networking events, and put a QR code and then give an item of value that's associated with it.
Did you know that you can participate in class every Monday? We call it Monday Night Live, 7 p.m. Eastern, with me and dozens of other investor agents from around the country, in fact, the world. Every Monday, totally free. No selling, no recruiting, just straight up education on anything and everything in real estate. And we have a lot of good guests coming on once or twice a month, bringing in expertise on subjects like how to buy a house with crypto. Okay. How about them apples? What about AI? How's AI affecting our business? How about the metaverse, blockchain processing? We're already using it in title work. So come on to Monday Night Live, be ready to take notes and ask questions because it's live and engaging and you get to participate by asking questions and meeting others. So we'll see you there. Go to realestateWithGaryWilson.com, click on the resource tab, drop down, and you'll see Monday Night Live. And in there, you can see one of the most recent classes. But more importantly, you can register for class as many as you want going up to like the end of the year, I believe. So in any case, do that. We'll see you on Monday Night Live. Look forward to meeting you in person. Take care.
But anyway, you can just go and like the 7 easy curb appeal tips, right? I mean, you guys can do a video off of this. And all you're doing is just reading, here's the 7 tips and, and then you just give the 7 tips. I use, for those of you guys that are like, oh my God, I don't want to do video. Like, I wouldn't know what to say. I'm going to freeze. I'm going to forget. For a lot of my videos, I use what's called teleprompter. How many of you guys know about teleprompter?
Maybe not in this context.
Anna?
Yeah.
Yeah, Anna does. Yep, of course. Of course. Yeah, so teleprompter is awesome. It's just an easy app that, you can go in and all I do is I would just highlight all this. For me, I put it in Google Drive doc, and then I open up my phone, and then I just open up teleprompter, and then I'll just add a plus sign, and it will say compose a new script, and then I'll name the script, and then literally, guys, it will like bring up the whole script for me, and then all I have to do is read off of it. It will automatically bring up the script, and it will go through it. Whoops, here, like this. If you guys can see it. See that? It just goes through it. And all I have to do is read it. That's it. Voila.
Okay.
That's awesome.
And then all you're doing is looking right at the area. Because a lot of times the problem if we go like this and we're shooting a video, a lot of times we're going to look at ourselves and we're not looking at where the true camera is. And so, but because they put the script over where the camera is filming, then you are looking right at where in the area you're supposed to be looking, and you'll have everything played out. So all of my YouTube videos that I do, some every now and then I would go off the cuff a little bit, but I now write up, especially the newer ones. I'm learning and evolving a little bit. So I will write up and piece out and just say what I have written up. So then that way I don't feel like I'm saying or rambling, I'm getting right to the point. And then, so it's just an easy tool. And that's what I'm talking about, guys. You learn about these type of tools for your business that'll make it easier or less scary by being around other agents that are doing things that you disqualified yourself from because it seems so ginormous to be able to do. Instead, I just want to encourage you guys just to ask questions like, what do you use to make it simple? Like, how do you leverage that? Like, how do you have time for that? What does that look like? And then you'll find that they've learned different things that have helped them to streamline it. And that's what we're all here to do, is to help one another streamline. So anyway, you can go through and just grab out pages. So we talked about, here's a trusted vendor page. If I wanted to, I could just take this page and just post it right into my Facebook page and just do it that way. Something is better than nothing. Top 5 ways to prep your home to sell fast. That could be a different piece that you send out. And what's nice is when you go to print it up, you can just isolate this page, which will be page 21, and you can create it and then just link it right into your KV core. So sometimes we overthink things like, oh, I need to make it up myself. You know what? Something is better than nothing, and done is better than perfect. So, getting something out there instead of preparing, a lot of times then we don't ever get it implemented because we have a squirrel moment, or we get 3 clients and we're overwhelmed and we have to monitor those transactions. And then we're not nurturing the ones that we should be nurturing. Is there any questions that I should be answering right now? Because I'm on screen share, and so I only see my screen. Oh, Bonetta. You had a question? You have your hand up, or maybe that's from something else. Or that's from the other answering the question.
That was a response from knowing about teleprompter.
Okay. So the other great thing,
what might be good for you to have a class on how to do Canva.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. that might be good because you look like an expert. I've looked at Canva. I've tried Canva a couple of times, and I've done a few things in there. It's a lot possibilities.
It's very robust, and yet it's simple. It's robust. It's simple, but it's us taking the time for it. I'll take time for it when I okay, I have to get this done. I'm under pressure. Okay, I'll get in there and get it done. But for me, poking in there and learning new creative things, my girlfriend does that. And I'm like, I don't even know how you do that. She's like, yeah, I got lost in Canva for 3 hours. I'm like, I don't have 3 hours to get lost. So, so the other things that I have for, maybe I should ask, what do you guys need in your business that maybe I had heard that I can just answer for you right now?
Well, someone was asking the seller's guide, is that something you got off is it public domain, or is it something you create? Because can you share where you got your seller's guide? We have
it's Etsy. Yeah, I got it from Etsy. Yep. I love it. Etsy. Etsy already has pre-templated, this was just a seller. I think it was like $30. It's I don't know, it's a ton of different pages. But, and I liked it. And some of it I shifted and changed, and you can change the background pictures if you want it to look more beachy or more, in the desert or whatever, depending on where you live. But a lot of the photos on the inside are art, interior. I love, they had success stories, with cute little pictures. I'm like, I love that. Or maybe you do pictures with you and your client when you remember to take them when you give them the key, and put them in there. That's great too. But, a lot of times we panic because it's like, oh my gosh, I got to get content out, but I don't know what to get, or I don't know what to give for value. But if we already have it in there, we just have to go back and look at our resources and pull it out. Melanie, you had a question?
Yes, I was curious. I did jump on late, so I apologize if you've already went over this. But as far as your system goes and your filming days and being organized around that, what does that look like, if you don't mind sharing that?
Yeah, chaotic, because it's like, my job is I have to do a video a week. Okay. But I do long form content. So my long form content is videos 6 to 20 minutes. Okay. And mine is about neighborhoods. The easiest content to do, you guys, the easiest to do is new construction. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about new construction. I love new construction, not because, I love new construction because it serves relocation buyers. I love relocation buyers because they have a lot more money coming into the state of Washington than from other places. So like my business that I'm getting from my YouTube page, my clients are on average 700 to 1.5 million. Wow. My value of my homes prior to that was based off of just people that were maybe moving up. So I got them in their home eons ago, and it was, $350 when I got them into their home, right? They finally want to sell now, and they're at $620, but then, but again, they don't, they're still hanging in there, so, but relocation buyers are people already coming. They don't have a relationship with agents. They want to know the area, and they are, since COVID, that has become the number one place that people go to become educated about things in general. And so, if you're the agent in that area and you learn how to, build out content. But to answer your question, Melanie, so I will start off because I have to build maybe, my suburb. I do a suburb video 1 week. The other week, I give myself a little bit more time and I do an actual new construction home tour. Or if a community is opening up, I'll do the community launch for that area. And now, I through that, I've had one builder reach out to me specifically because he found my YouTube page, loved what I did. He said, "Hey, come, will you shoot my model home? You could be the first one. We just got the drone shots done." And, cool. And I, you can even interview me. And I'm like, okay, Parade of Homes, same thing. It's easy for me to go in. Parade of Homes, if you guys have a Parade Homes that go on in your area, usually our BIA group, they post the builders' phone numbers in those magazines. So that is the one way to get into the builder, that to sideline any agents or any of their little walls that they have or may have set up. And if you contact them and say, "Hey, listen, I'm a vlogger. I have a YouTube channel in which, I educate people who are relocating into the area about the area. And I am doing a vlog right now about Washougal. I'd like to feature you as a builder that's coming into Washougal because that's in my, that's part of my YouTube channel." They love that. So, I don't know about you guys, but some agents, we have to be careful because, you can't market other people's properties, especially if they're, lived in. And so you'll see on my YouTube channel, if you go there, what I've done in that scenario. But the model homes with them staged, they're always beautiful. And those are really easy. So if I just do a model home, I can get it done in 1 or 2, or probably about an hour, hour and a half. And then, that will be a posting. It's about consistency. So once a week. Should I be doing 2 weeks? Yeah, I should probably be doing 2 weeks. Yes, I should. But, learning about the teleprompter and using the teleprompter, and, we become, when I started doing YouTube, I realized how little I felt really bad as an agent. Like I said, 19 years in the real estate industry, like certain specific cities or suburbs, I didn't have the information on. I mean, I didn't know, like, yeah, this is a good area. Yes, this is a cute community. Yeah, we knew things, general things, but like, we didn't know things regarding, sometimes, what was hyper local to that specific place. And so since I have to actually give content, I'm now learning about areas and things about the areas, specific trails or specific places to go that, I didn't know before. And that's now something that helps me feel more confident when I'm talking to people who are relocating. But new construction is phenomenal. Anna, did you have another question, or was that still up from before?
Well, while we're waiting on Anna, I just want to point out that Brittany's daughter here is here tonight, Adelina. If you guys want to say hi to Adelina.
Hi, Adelina.
Hello, Adelina. Hi, what a cutie. What a cutie patootie.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh my
I'd
gosh.
love to answer your question. I was actually going to ask about the teleprompter, the use of teleprompter for your YouTube channels, but then you answered it. So I'm sorry, I forgot to put the hand down.
Oh no, you're totally good. So I just want to make sure that, that I got you, because I didn't know if that was a previous hand before with Bonita or not.
Thank you, love. I appreciate it.
Yeah. But hey guys, like I was saying before, if you guys are going to be doing pay-per-click ads or Facebook ads and you're tailoring to new construction, that's another way to kind of be micro-focused and then build out how, how that flow, how you can maximize on content that you're making to then repurpose it into your ads. And so that's what I'm doing with new construction as well. I have all of the new construction, all different builders. I now have agents reaching out to me saying, what do you think, what do you know about this builder? I'm like, find out I don't know about that builder. This is what I know. I wouldn't buy their house because it looks really crappy. But not that you can tell your client that, but I'll just let them know whether they're a spec builder, they don't have attention to detail. You need to be careful of this process or that process. But then that builds credibility with agents here locally as well. But you truly do build more value and credibility by building up videos. I know if any of you guys with EXP, Sum and Kim, all he does is new construction videos. That's all he does. And he was new moving into Austin, Texas from Florida, I think. He's only been with EXP, I think 3 years now, 2 years, maybe 2 or 3 years. And first year that he did YouTube, 64 deals. Last year, they just posted his numbers. He is at 114. And all he does, you should see if you go see his stuff on YouTube, you're like, oh my God, I can do that. And the whole point of the matter is he does not have a videographer. He does not send his stuff into editing. The only thing he does is he got this little thing that holds the camera and he walks and he goes really slow up and around. And the only thing he does, sometimes he sits in his car. Hi, I'm an agent. He's such a sweetie. And then he'll, just, in the very beginning of the video, he'll just put a little thing giving a summary. It's 3,100 square feet. It's by, Toll Brothers, enjoy the tour. And then that's it. And then he just has music and it's literally like 8-12. And that's where he got his business. You guys can get your business any way that you feel is going to be something that you can be consistent with, that you enjoy doing. And it doesn't have to be spectacular. People want to see stuff. So, but just think about that. If you did that with new construction and you ran a Facebook ad, ran it through Braden, through funnels, because Funnel Fridays still happen with Honey Badgers people. Yep. You can go in and learn how to do your Facebook ads with on Funnel Fridays, and you could do your new construction ad, and then you could tailor in these builders so that when you get these new construction leads that come in, that's another touch point that you can reach out and say, hey, listen, I saw that you're looking at new construction. Specifically, KV Core will show you exactly what they're looking at. Then you can say, oh, this one is by Toll Brothers. Hey, you can reach out to them and say, hey, I saw that you were looking at Toll Brothers. Problem with new construction is a lot of times the homes are gone and they don't have a model home to walk through. However, I did do a video tour because that's what I do with many builders for a lot of people who are relocating into the area because I am a relocation specialist. And I'd be happy to do it for you. Would you like me to send you a couple of their model homes that I've done tours of? Would you find that of value? That's just a different way to call and have that conversation of leads. And those are easy calls because you're coming from contribution. So if you're build things out strategically, like what I talked about at the initial of this video, through vendors to your sphere, that's how you're going to do it. Through vendors for postcards to a neighborhood if you wanted to be a farming, dominator. And then, of course, then it's also content for your social media, which then you're top of mind, whoever gets pulled into your social media, and also onto my webpage. So, it's just a way that you can begin to take one thing that you're doing and you begin to merge it out into the different streams so that you're not doing 3 or 4 different things. You're just focusing on one and you're creating a master plan and becoming very micro focused to it. So whether it is new construction in that format, you guys start shooting different builders, go look at Sum and Kim. He is, he's a very sweet guy, and learn from him or, go to my channel. I learned everything from Levi Lassick. Again, met him at one of the conferences. I'm like, you know what? This is important. You help me to know how to do it and make it simpler. Because before it was analysis paralysis. My husband, I wish I would have done it in 2020.
Yeah. Hey, Shastine.
Yeah.
Now, when you're filming new construction on site, what do you have there? And then when you're filming in your office or studio, you have a lighting kit. Like what equipment do you have? Somebody's asking what equipment do you use, and really, I think it's 2 different things. One's outside on site, and the other was you're actually filming something at your desk at home, right?
Yeah. So one will be with the ring lights, just in a chair up on the back wall. Sometimes I'll have to turn on extra lights around depending on whether I'm doing it at nighttime or doing it during the daytime, because that's kind of sometimes how our lives are. And so, yeah, otherwise, I mean, I have a green, it's not a green room, but I have one wall that I have a green screen up on for that type of video. But other ones I have sitting down. Sometimes they say the best ones are you walking. So then that way there's kind of paying attention. They're listening, but they're looking around, and, you know, it's, you know, so again, and you should switch it up, you know, and that's why the teleprompter comes easy. Or sometimes, like they say, just talk to the camera like if it was you were talking to a friend. The hard thing is the friend doesn't talk back. But you know, just I've done a little bit of both. I've done them for my bonbon videos, you know, from my website. They come in and say, hey, you know, so I'll do a bonbon video, and I'm outside walking and saying, hey, I saw you came into my website. Wanted to let you know I'm an actual real person. Thank you so much. I am Shastine of Bredlie and Associates of EXP Realty. And, you know, I hope you find my site helpful, you know. So I just do something like that. And that's like the first automation that will go out. Actually, that was part of my, I have different plans, different automations. That was for my chat, my HomeBot. HomeBot's a good program to use as well, which I think Gary's talked about before, which your lender can get you into. But for new construction, I have a stick that has like a little balancer, and of course I have the, you know, the iPhone Pro. This is all I use. I do have, and I have paid for the gimbal, but the gimbal, I find sometimes it still seems to do the, it still seems to do, I feel like sometimes I have less wobble than the gimbal. And so what I've learned is either you can be like Suman Kim. Suman Kim, he has, you know, like I said, he has some little thing that you hold with two hands, and then he just holds it close, and he just goes up like this and down, you know. And I haven't tried that. In fact, I looked at it, I'm like, maybe I should try that. But otherwise, I just learned that I just need to click and just do more over. But then I try to go walk up and move around because I feel like it's more. I've tried taking a drone into a house because I have a drone. I do my own drone. You know, I mean, I've tried several different things, but my next one is like, maybe if I can get a gadget that's on a wheel and I can attach my phone on it and I can just roll it. So that'd be really nice. But, you know, then I can just sell it on Amazon because everybody wants it. But anyway, but right, it's just your iPhone. And like I said, I use a stick because a stick kind of helps a little bit more with the, with less movement with your hand, even though they say the iPhones, you know, you shouldn't have that much of a problem, but you know, but I always find what I did learn when you're doing video, they always say that you need to change the angle every 2 to 3 seconds to keep their attention. So that's why when you're watching a video, you know, they angle it from the kitchen, all of a sudden you're looking at the living room. Oh, now you're outside. Ooh, you know, it's like it's engaging and it gets you to walk. But then, you know, then they talk about, you know, one-upping that is to then have a series of questions or give information that would get them off of the fence into buying or into selling or into a reason why they need to contact you, instead of just having something that plays. One of the gals that I listened to, which was the 30 under 30 generation, and that was Courtney. She was indicating that she uses, Courtney Stewart, she indicated that she uses TikTok and Instagram. And gosh, how many did she close, Gary? Was her 60-something deals? She's new.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Yeah, and she just says she uses New Home Tours, Atlanta Home Tours. I think Atlanta Home Tours. She does on TikTok, and she gets business off of TikTok. Instagram is what Courtney knows realty, and Instagram is what she uses as her portfolio, right? Because that's where they go to learn about you. And so she'll post things on Instagram as kind of her business card. And so, and that's what's gotten her business. Now, I'm sure that's not the only thing that's gotten her business. However, that was the thing that she was spotlighted on the future of real estate, honoring EXP's top 30-30, the top 5 skills you need to build in this area is they were talking about challenges and breakthroughs, lead generation and closing deals, key attributes for success. And that was her key attribute was, she said, always appear busy. You're always going to push a product, which means you're pushing a home. You're going to share stories and you're going to solve people's problems. And so she uses TikTok for new construction. And so those same concepts, like I said, I use it through vendors because then I'm solving a problem, I'm sharing a story, I'm pushing a product, and and when you're posting things about people's successes or helping people with homes, then you are, showing yourself as being busy. And perception is reality. So you could be looking at a home with no buyers and just say, this is a beautiful home that I toured today. It wasn't the perfect home for what was needed in my tour today, and however you want to say it, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, you can make yourself appear busy even though you're not busy, and then you get to know inventory that way. So then, and you get to know communities that way, which in turn is a benefit to your clients. So it's skin in the cat many different ways.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Let's see here.
Are we good? We went
Hey guys,
long.
we're closing in on an hour and a half, and I'm okay. And if you guys are okay, I don't mind seeing a few minutes longer. But really, Shastine's given you quite a lot of content tonight. Just remember, you'll get the recording tomorrow. And I suggest this is one you want to replay and stop at certain points and take notes. And by the way, Shastine, thank you so much for doing this. A big ask, and this was a big give. So,
well, there's so many things that we can do, and I think the number one thing that we sabotage ourselves with, and I am the chief of it, is there's so many shiny objects. Mm-hmm. And so we really do have to stay true to what we know that we can manage and how simply we can set it up so that it's either a one-time setup, like your KV Core, your automation programs, or it's something you enjoy and that it's in your schedule because you see that it has a multi-facet ability to it.
And what came first, Shastine? I mean, there's Canva, there's doing the the property tours, there's doing the update, like what I could call update videos, giving them statistics, content, things like that. What came first? Was it the YouTube channel?
No, actually, it was the educational videos through Facebook, doing Facebook reach ads and target market ads. And again, I did those things because that was a value proposition to my sellers. And so doing more than just boosting, but to actually, teach them about, putting tags behind your ads that lead them into your site, having, putting them through funnels to then qualify them and, and having, a strategy to get a lot of views for their listings. That was just a way to separate myself. And again, so for me, it started in Facebook and in Instagram. But as with all journeys, because we're learning about all these shiny objects, right? With all of these, those platforms you have to pay to play.
Okay.
Those platforms you have to post. Instagram on stories, they say 2 times, minimum. You should always be putting, what was it? I think something once a week in your feed, minimum. And it seems like it changes all the time, and then sometimes it's like reels are the thing. Oh no, carousels are the thing. Oh no, skills with this are the thing, and I'm just like, I don't have time to learn all, so that's why we have to change the way we look at things, because then the things we look at change, right? We all learned that if we were at Keller Williams and took the bold. And I love those bold sayings because there's truth in them. But so I had to change the way I looked at it when I looked at that, because then I'm like, okay, well, those are now my business card platforms. So I need to keep feeding them for the purpose of people looking at what I do. And then I can learn, if I'm just going to learn the bare minimum, I'm going to learn the bare minimum of knowing how to run a really good ad for my listings. Right. And then, and then doing something different for my sellers that would be doing the drone, that would be doing professional photography, that would be doing, so you're building things based off of what you're already doing. But Facebook and Instagram, I didn't want to, oh my God, and TikTok was like, you have to do 6 to 8 times. I'm like, oh no, no. So I gravitated, I learned everything that I learned from coaching in those programs. I absolutely love it. Had a purpose. It helped me to grow because there's a lot to learn in them. But YouTube is the one that I picked because YouTube is evergreen. YouTube, I haven't paid a cent on. YouTube, I have, I've been up consistently posting for 8 months now, going on my 8th month. And I have 3 deals that have closed. I have 11 clients that are in the pipeline, meaning that they're, coming into town. They have to sell a home first, that have all reached out to me. I haven't had to win them over, and like I said, all of those YouTube people are all over 700 to 1.5 million. Some of them are cash, and so it took me time to create those videos. And there was times I'm like, oh my gosh, but I realized I had to keep telling myself, changing the way I look at things, is this is evergreen. And this is something that I can repurpose into other things. I can take that video and chunk it up and maybe throw it out in different areas. I can tell my clients about it, my past clients about it. Hey, you have family moving into the area, send them to my YouTube channel, so I had to change the way, and I had to embrace these technologies because it's the only thing that's going to differentiate you and set you apart. And it's the one thing that's going to gravitate more people to you, because the millennial age and the, generation, what are we Zs? I think we're generation Zs.
Yeah.
And there's generation X. Oh my God. Anyway, all those younger people under 50 or under 46 is millennials.
Yeah.
It goes 28 to 46, 28 to 36. Anyway. Yes, they are on these different platforms, and the platforms are changing every day. So, and then of course, if you put it in the LinkedIn, and you do this and you do that, there's a funnel or system for everything.
Well, the thing is and once you have like when you say evergreen, what that means, guys, is once you've created a video and it's on YouTube, it's like having a little sales bot out there working for you 24/7. People find it and they click on it and watch it, and you only had to create it once.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's out there for forever. I mean, years ago, I remember thinking to myself, how am I ever going to do this? I mean, am I going to work forever or what? But now I look at it, I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos. It just, you just have to start. You just start right where you are with who you are and where you are and what you know. And honestly, a telephone is all you need. And setting up a YouTube channel is one of the easiest things you can do, And by the way, remember a guy named Mark Rickert? He's a KW agent in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He's one of my best friends. He did a class for us about a year ago on using video, and he just makes it fun. He makes it fun. People, I mean, I laugh at some of his stuff, not that it's because it's horrible. I'll laugh. It's really good. I laugh because he's actually a funny guy, and he gets people's attention, and then he shows them what he wants to show them. Just brilliant, and he's not a polished person, I would definitely.
And that's the other thing I wanted to encourage you guys. So yes, it's Levi Lassick. Also, there is the Channel Junkies as well. There's 2 different ones. Like I said, Mike Sherrard, he has one. Suman Kim was underneath Mike Sherrard and got his training. So there's so many numerous coaches that do YouTube and social media coaching. So, and a lot of it, if you can have the time and just go to their channels and consume their content, you may not need their coaching, but usually some of them are pretty affordable. Can you put those names in the chat? Yeah. And then, but I wanted to encourage you. So again, this is only an affirmation for me. There's a 22-year-old little whippersnapper, and she was new to real estate. She, again, she went to school, decided not to do that, got a real estate license, and she started a YouTube channel. Okay. And her first full year, doing real estate, she closed 13 of those deals from YouTube. And she had a total of 27 transactions that year. And you know what her videos are? Her videos are just her sitting on a couch talking. They were not outside. They were not doing everything I was doing. They were not new construction. They were not. No, they were not. It was just her just talking, just talking. So we have to get out of our own head when we're like, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to get no drone out. I'm not going to use no teleprompter.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do all this research. I'm not going to go through new construction homes. What if they yell at me? Really, it's just like it's just amazing. So, and she's in my back of the woods. So, we went to coffee and we talked and and we work side by side because there's going to be somebody for everybody. And so, you just be you, and whoever's destined to be with you, they're going to stay with you. And so, yes, Levi Classic. Don't know his last name, and Channel Junkies.
While you're typing that in, I just want to say, Melanie, it is so good to see you, and it looks like you're healed, or are you continuing to heal, or?
It's getting better. Thank you. So
Wow.
I had a couple conflicts. I wasn't been on the call, but on last Saturday was like my public unveiling. So it's still crazy looking out my right eye, but my left eye is starting to kind of compensate for it. So yeah, it's a work in progress, but I'm very, it's getting.
That's been a long journey too.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, God bless you. And I'm so happy. It's, that's probably one of the best things, I've seen in a while to see you here and back in that. It's been predominantly a state of health,
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah. Yeah. Hey guys, any
passive prospecting
questions?
is Levi's passive prospecting, but his channel is living in Dallas.
Okay.
There's a number of questions in the chat.
So I did, and I do, and am a part of a Levi's coaching program. I don't have him do my video editing, or my thumbnails, or my descriptions. I do all of that, and I do have a VA in the Philippines that does my video editing because I would not want to do that, and I pay, him $8 an hour. However, Levi's program now has it, whether you're in the program or not, you can hire video editors you can get 4 videos a month for $600. If you wanted them to build out your channel, do the SEO of 4 videos a month and all that kind of stuff, do the SEO tags, thumbnail, blah, 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 part of a YouTube channel, I think that's $900 at $800, $900 a month. And they do all that for you. You still have to shoot the video, of course. But he does have kind of a, here video suggestions and ideas. It's not like he gives you scripts because, of course, it's going to be pertinent to the area that you live. But like I said, 22-year-old whippersnapper. She's sits by her little couch.
I just want to make sure I think we got the latter questions. Mike's asking, can you link somehow to all his pages, sites like his link tree? So, Mike, you're referring to Levi's link tree?
There was someone that was mentioned that works the Austin market, a newer agent that's having success with the video tours. And then that it also applies. I think there was another person that requested, she name dropped a number of successful individuals worth benchmarking. If in the email tomorrow, there could be links to benchmark those people, like link trees or Instagrams or such. There are a lot of people that might be worth benchmarking.
Oh, you mean like the 30 under 30, which was Courtney Stewart?
And then that individual in Austin, I'm gonna
passive prospecting with Levi. Well, that's Levi Lastic. Passive prospecting is the YouTube coaching plan that he has. If you wanted to see his channel that he has, it's living in Dallas. And like if you YouTube that, he's like the first one. Yeah, and he has a phenomenal story because again, he was new to real estate. 6 months in, 3 months in, they got the first lead. By 6 months, they had 3 under the pipeline. Within the 12th consecutive month, they had 67 deals. No, they had over 1 million GCI, which might have equated to 67. And then he went on to do, they had to have 10 agents by that time. Just phenomenal growth, all from YouTube. Now, you guys have to be mindful. Your areas might be smaller. Some of these bit larger areas, like if you live in Florida, Texas, other areas that are much larger, then, obviously you may have, different results versus the smaller towns. So those are things just to be familiar with. Living in Dallas. Thank you, Michael.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, Allison, one more thank you too. I think Anna, it must have been your sister or relative, Lilith, was on tonight. Of course, Bonetta introduced Emma, Delicio, and then Bunny's on. I think
So you're
Bunny
thinking
just got
about buying a home.
What's that?
Somebody's playing Levi's channel.
Sorry, I'm trying to link. Sorry.
You're so fine.
Okay.
I know that voice. That's Levi's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Shastine, thanks again. This is really big help tonight. Who here feels like this was a big eye opener for part of your marketing? Doesn't it seem like it's a little bit more doable now? You don't have to start off with Canva and all that. I mean, you can, but just start small. Start with Facebook videos, then maybe start YouTube, however you want to do it. When I did it years ago, I was on YouTube. I didn't know what I was doing. It was horrible. But like Shastine said, with the one young person, the young girl, I was getting sales out of it because I was giving them stuff that they could use, content, and people would call up and they worked at them. This is too easy. All the stuff you're seeing now, that didn't come till years later. When I was in production, it was just like Shastine was describing. You just start with one thing and pick that one thing. And Shastine told you what hers was, right? And go from there. Just make it you just have to make the commitment. If you're going to go tour a property, why not film it while you're going through it? It's one of the easiest things you can do, So.
Yeah. And what I tell my clients, because you're like, I'm with clients, I don't want to do that. So I told them, hey, I'm going to film some of these rooms because, some of the homes that we're in. I'll try not to get you in it if you don't want me to, but if you do, because I'm like, we're looking at a lot of homes today. And sometimes you may want to go, now, what was in that first home that we looked at? And I can go in and use that. And as you well know, people love to share the journey of my life. And so I share what the homes, because people love to look at homes, but then now I can save the sellers by just showing some things in the homes. So, obviously that works more when the homes are vacant and it's new construction homes. You do have to be aware not to film homes that are owner occupied because of their personals, and you need to get permission from the agent and things like that. But otherwise, there's times, guys, that I've literally called the agents and said, I want to do, hey, I'm doing a video on a suburb and, I want to feature your home in my video of that suburb. Will that be okay? And the agents are like, will it cost me anything? I'm like, no. Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm like, okay. And then I'll send them a text to make sure that they're like, yes, love that, and I'll regurgitate. Thank you so much for allowing me to put your listing on 123 Main Street in my YouTube video, so I have it in writing, because your brokers want to have something in writing that listing agent acknowledged and said it was okay. And then had it in my video. So, so if there is a home out there, if you guys have a channel or two, a YouTube channel, it gives more credibility to get more favor with those people, to get in $1 million homes. If you guys want to step up into higher priced homes, build a channel to where people want to be on that channel, and then you post a few different educational videos of why it's important to have a buyer agents. Why, it's important to have an agent even though it's new construction, some things that you might not know of if you're going to look at new construction, why them working for you is going to be a benefit to you.
Yeah. Thank you. And Anna Galumia, thank you. Jeanette may have already logged off, but please tell her we said thank you for joining us tonight too. You know?
Yeah, of course. Shastine Love, I had one more question. Do you post your educational videos on the same Living In channel?
Yeah, I was doing that. And you'll see further down in my channel, you'll see that, what does a buyer's agent really do for you anyway? You have to do all these little animated things. Of course, I'm kind of animated myself anyway. But yeah, I do. But then what I did is I originally shot them to use them as in a reach ad or to use them in a special target market ad. And then I realized, I can put this on YouTube too, because that's what we're talking about is repurposing. If you're already spending time, learn to repurpose it to the hilt, everything. Send it to your sphere. I shot this video. I'm going to be a YouTube superstar. What do you think? Engage them in your story, in your journey of life. They love that. Like, hey, probably shouldn't have said that, or that was hilarious. Because then you're making yourself real. You're not just talking about, want to sell a home yet? Want to buy a home yet? So it makes conversations with your clients a lot funner.
That's awesome, Love. I was contemplating whether I should do them together or if I should separate the two. Because like you, I had them as unlisted. So I would just use the link for ads, link for emails. And I was hesitant to combine the two together in the same channel. So I was thinking maybe I should have two different channels so it doesn't take away from the relocations. So you combined it and it works well. Yeah,
because in the end, you're telling them, you're sharing with them your intellectual knowledge. They're not going to learn that all the time in the video, depending on what your videos are about. So, and that's what builds value and credibility. Like, wow, she really knows what she's talking about. She really cares, or wow, I didn't think about that, and so, and not only that, but your videos that you're doing, like I said, splatter them everywhere. Don't just put them in YouTube or only because not everybody's in both platforms anywhere. Not everybody's going to ever see them, but people who are looking at you from other areas are going to see them. And so who cares if it's in there again? You're educating. That's your job. You are now a reporter and you are a teacher.
That's awesome, Love. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks so much, guys.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you, Shastine. And thanks everybody for participating. Look for the email tomorrow with the recording. And then, Shastine, if you have any questions, just let Beverly or I know. I'm doing my morning sessions in the afternoon. That, by the way, guys, I probably should mention this too. This is actually my vacation week. I know I'm not starting off on the right foot. Working 13 hours, but Rob Lane is off this week, and he's helping taking on some of the work for some of the new agents. So I'm doing part-time tomorrow, Thursday and Friday Eastern time till noon. Wednesday, we're going to go watch the Chincoteague Pony Run. They've been doing that for 100+ years. So we're going to be in the water all day. And in the afternoons, we'll be doing stuff like on the water. But I did set up some new times available on Thursday and Friday. There's still 4 slots available. I saw 2 Thursday and 2 Friday that were still there when we started the class tonight. So if you needed a time slot, go ahead and grab one of those slots. And then next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, full days. Thursday and Friday, I'll be in Quebec City, Canada at a festival outdoors and camping out. So that Thursday and Friday, I really will be kind of off the grid. I'll have my phone, but I won't be able to hop on the computer and look at the website or any kind of thing like that. I'll just be verbal support. But in any case, we're keeping it all together. Hopefully, if you guys need anything, remember, it's just call or text. If you can't, if it's something more urgent than a strategy call or text. Okay. So, and how about one more big giant hand raise or a clap or a thank you for Shastine? Yep.
Shastine.
Great. Yep. You think we should have her back again sometime in a few months?
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too. So Shastine's, oh no, just kidding.
Spaghetti on a wall. I felt like it was like spaghetti on the wall. There's just so much. There's so much in my brain, and I
yeah.
you can't make it broad for me, Gary. I need really narrow, because otherwise I'm like, oh, here's all of this stuff, and it can seem really overwhelming. But there's so many different agents that are at different levels and different phases in their business that I really, really wanted to make sure to give some ideas on both sides.
Yeah. No, you did a great job. And I think everybody here, the new folks, veterans, all have something they can take away and implement. And guys, I would suggest just take one thing, take notes on what Shastine taught you, and then pick one thing to commit to implement. And let's have a one-on-one strategy call and focus on that one thing. Okay. Okay. Well, you guys have a wonderful night. I actually have another call to make. And I've got some vanilla yogurt and blueberries waiting for me too. So I'm going to enjoy some of that. But have a wonderful night, guys. Great rest of the week. And I'll look forward to seeing you next Monday, if not on a one-on-one, okay?
Okay. Bye.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you for watching this episode of Monday Night Live. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and go to realestatewithgarywilson.com to join our community and start building wealth today.